Hi, this is a tarot reading for Aries for the rest of July 2019. And just so you know, before recording this reading, I have meditated and asked Spirit for guidance. The deck I'm using is Zombie Tarot, and this will be a reading for the current energy for the month of July, the balance of July 2019 for Aries. And of course, you can subscribe, like, and share my videos, and comments below if it resonated with you. I like to shuffle my card before and after. So let's see what Spirit says for you, my Aries cross watchers as well. Okay. I see. I feel like for you this month, Aries, you have to look at ending something related to, could be a home situation as well. Maybe there's some type of movement regarding your status at home. You may be single now but looking to move with your new counterpart, or you may be in a relationship already and now you're thinking of leaving. I do see kids involved here. I mean, your kids will be all right. Spirit is telling me for those that have kids, not to worry. Like, this decision cannot be made solely based on your kids. I say this because I do see that this is in a family settings. I feel like that there's one person who is responsible for the whole family, and that person is hesitating into doing his next step. That could be, it's some reason I see something related to a foreign place. So, you know, some of my Aries might have some business, or maybe some of your kids are looking to studies overseas and there's some issues related to that. I think that mostly what it shows is some people may not have a stable financial situation, and they may not be able to discuss this fully yet with their environment. And then again, that's on a family setting. For those that are singles, it could be that, you know, if you're looking to get some type of license, I don't know, maybe a work license, business license, it could even be a marriage license, there will be some type of delay. Here, I feel that there's something that it's either you're not saying to the people, but you're still going forward with it, or there's other people that are not showing, they're not being fully upfront with you. You know, be very cautious here, only because, you know, you may have had allies in the past that could become some type of obstacles or challenges. It is definitely a time where you have to keep your cards close to your chest right now, only because you don't know your next step. You may not, it's not recommended to go ahead and make a final decision this month, my Aries. I would recommend to wait for probably August, mid-August, only because the move is imminent. And like I said, if it's not a move of residence, it could be like a move in terms of status. Maybe now you're ending school, you're going to work, and then there's some type of things that have to be worked out. And if that's an issue as well, it could be that, you know, maybe something that have to do with your resume, or some information that you shared in the past, or some information now, some type of license or some credit that are not, it could be that the credit are not yet applied. Maybe if you need, or for your kids, maybe if they need to register to university, they may not have the previous diploma, which is, you know, a requirement. There's something that is not there, but you still want to go forward. And it's recommended here, Aries, that you try to keep you're gonna have to make a decision based on speculation, which means that you might have to take a risk, or I would like to say a chance, because there is different option here, and it's just like you're not fully 100%. So you're not, let's say if you're applying for a position and there's 10 requirements, you might have 7. But you still want that position, okay? Same thing for your kids. Or maybe it's in terms of, you know, a house that you're looking for, finances. But, you know, here I feel that you might have, maybe in the past you got some help from friends and maybe colleagues or some other people that were available to you. It seems that they're no longer available. And there's like there's a structure in place where you have to proceed, and the help that was there in the past is not there. Okay, I mean, there's so many things going on in people's life right now, and I think for some reason you might be affected by that, as you're not able to move as freely. You're not able to make a decision on your own. You really have to assess everything and wait a few more weeks. I mean, you're gonna receive positive a recommendation if there's recommendation to be added, or you're gonna receive positive review, meaning that like if you're looking to move in with your new counterpart or your partner and you find a place, then you're going to have a good review that this is a good place, the people around are nice, you probably will get along with them as well. So wherever you're going, whatever the next step is good, but you have to finish. There's a few things that you have to cross on the list before you're fully able to go to that next step. And it seems that it's like this is the time when you no longer have a lot of juice around, or you might not have as much flexibility that you had in the past to move as you wish. There is some, you know, red flags here. Okay, so just, it's very important that you do not try to skip a step. Okay, I mean, you're gonna have a ball. I don't want you to think, because here is the 3 of Cups showing that, you know, there's still a way. All in all, there's still a way for you to enjoy the rest of the month. I mean, the tone is much more serious that you are maybe used to, okay? But you still have that, you know, that positive energy around you. You still have that positive attitude, which also you should keep, because that's going to help you. The only thing here is just, it's really you depending less on your allies at the moment and mostly on the rules, and you just go through them, because that is what will allow you to move to the next step, is by crossing everything on the list. Okay, and if you do not have a list, I strongly recommend that you create one. Okay, concerning that move, okay, there's a few things that's gonna challenge you here. Okay, I do feel something related to some legal issues. I don't know, I have certificate, visa, passport, credit, you know, some type of legitimate requirements that that's gonna give you some issues. And just because there's no possible workaround, which means it's not possible to skip that step. And I see you trying, okay? And, but it's like I said, it's best that you comply, okay? And if you do comply, you know, it shows that other people are going to benefit. Your family will benefit. If it's not just your family, then your kids, okay? And if you don't have, you know, there's some type of gain that you can get from that. Like some, you know, if you take a chance to go towards if you are aligned in the right direction, okay, let's say your dream, your goal, your ambition, and you do it the right way, or you finalize the step, or you update the requirements, or you fulfill the requirement, not only you will have a lot of doors open, but it shows that you will be able to set yourself apart from the others. So essentially, if you're moving into a new neighborhood, or you're starting a new relationship. The person who's gonna be in a relationship with you is gonna give you some type of protection. It's gonna shield you some way, because at this moment, you know, partnerships are kind of like, you know, the partnership that you used to in the past, you may not be able to rely on them, but there's new people coming in. Okay. You know, you may not be able to move on. It's going to take longer than it might, you know, by next month. What I recommend is that you do the requirements, and it's a general reading. Like I said, it could be concerning a medical issue, like maybe you want to get some surgery. You might have to, you know, get your weight in check, or maybe your health have to be up the par, or you may want to qualify to be a part of a team or a music group. Then you might have to, you know, have some references that show you're great. Essentially, it's going to be bigger than you. So it's a lot of it has to do with your reputation, so what you have already accomplished for yourself. And if you don't have as much experience, if experience is required in whatever ambition you're going towards, then it shows that, you know, with your attitude, with your positive attitude, you will still be able to get there. It may not be next month, but I do see that, you know, there is a huge change coming by the end of the year. Okay, it's either a change of relationship, a new relationship, a change of location, a change of residence, like a whole new different country. Maybe you're away and you're going to come back home. Okay. And also, you know, if you are away and you're struggling to stay where you are, you're in a remote country, then that would be maybe the requirement for you to come back home. Or if you have some concern of returning back home for some other reason, maybe it's finances or maybe the location, I do see that, you know, I see that you getting the information through the legal means, like, or something that is documented, because you can't really just take people's words here. There's a lot of big authority figures showing in your reading, which tells me that you're going to have to really follow a certain way of doing things. Okay. Just don't depend on your friends, and don't really, here it's important that you don't really necessarily tell people your move, because let's say you're granted an exception, because the Three of Cups could, you know, here it shows that, you know, you may be granted some you know, some gift. Okay, I wouldn't say as far as exception as you know, overriding a rule or procedures, because procedures are very important here. It shows procedures and ways of doing something, okay, dealing with the government or authority figures where, you know, they look at everything. So just, you know, it's a time not to really discuss your plans so much. Stay low and not to talk too much. Also, I see something, your words could be bringing you some type of like, you know, it could bring you some aha moment, but keep it to yourself, because some of your plans will be able to unfold later on this year, before the end of the year. So because of all the step and all the challenge that you'll be able to overcome, and those are just challenges, not really just because, you know, some of my Aries may be used to get things their way. And here it shows that, you know, there is a delay and there's a way to do things essentially requires in you moving on. Okay, if you want to move on to a different state, or you want to, like I said, you know, it's a general reading. You may want to go back to school. You may want to register your kids to school. Like, don't be trying to pay someone to do things and go on the sideline. Like, if you do things such a way, this is where trouble may arrive. If you're trying to turn the corner, you know, and not to fully complete the task, this is where it will show. It will be obvious. Like, if people wouldn't be able to see it before, now they will see. Okay. If I clarify further, I see that some of you are waiting for some type of legal judgment, okay, some fairness. Maybe there's something that, you know, you could be receiving some type of communication again with authority figure. I see government. I mean, it could be at school, but if at school they're telling you they need this and that, maybe you have to, contact some other party, some type of governmental institution to get what you need. Communicate with them right now. Do it now, because they have the keys in order for you to get where you need, because you want to change. Change is imminent. Lots of changes. Change, personal changes. I see huge personal change. People are changing, resident changes of relationship. A lot of people are keeping their things in the back of their head. A lot of Aries are now discussing even their possible wanting, their possible change of partners. They keep this to themselves. Okay, you may still be in a relationship knowing that you're looking for some other relationship, or there's something else that's gonna come in your life in terms of relationship for the next, between now and the end of the year. Okay, but to end this reading for the rest of July, guys, I do see lots of calls, lots of communication, private communication, secure communication. Don't be outside talking on your balcony about your thing. You never know who hears you. It's just because at this moment you may have, people may put some challenges on your path, or knowing that, if you're thinking of doing something and you find a way to do it quicker or to get there quicker, there's some other people may pick up on that, and they may they may betray you, or they may, in the back of you, they may, behind your back, I should say, they may expose you. So here it's very tricky. Just know that all eyes on you. The government is looking at everything you're sending them. If you're dealing with institution or a private institution for work, make sure that everything on your resume is as it is. Get the credit that you need to get, and mostly keep your cards to your chest, only because there's so much information coming out here. You will have access to a lot, and you might change position, you may change address, you may change country of residence. But I'm going to end this reading here for you, my Aries. Let me know how this resonated with you. Until next time, send you lots of kisses. I love you.